as I was writing, I physically saw on the page the change in my mindset. And I'm thinking more about just like how happy I am and how proud I am of me. And I literally started crying. I'm not really a happy tear type of crier, but I was experiencing so much joy in that moment for how far I've come. This is the thebisfor podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Welcome back to the thebisfor podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and this episode was meant to find you. This message is directly for you. I am speaking to you. There is no confusion. This wasn't by accident. This message is very clearly for you on purpose. It's a short message. It's an important message. And so I invite you to listen. Today, the B is for best. Because you are doing your best, and the best is yet to come. I want to start this episode by asking you a question. Are there moments that you wish you could go back and have more empathy for yourself? Are there times that you can think of that you were hard on yourself or that things felt difficult and you wish you could just go back to that version of you and have more empathy for them and be kinder to them and have more grace with them? I promise you, if you think hard enough, there is a time that you can think back on and be like, ugh, I wish I was just easier on you. I wish I wasn't so hard on you at that time. I wish you knew that things are not always this heavy. I wish you knew that you were doing a good job. I know that you can relate to looking back and wishing that you gave yourself more kindness, more patience, more empathy in certain moments, in many moments, probably. So the message that you're getting now is not a message from me. It's a message from your future self, letting you know that you are doing your best and that you're doing a great job right now. You are doing a great job right now. You should be so proud of yourself. The little things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, like showing up, like washing your face in the morning, like doing your skincare routine, like doing laundry, like practicing positive self-talk, like journaling, like praying, like going to therapy, like working out, like eating healthy, like letting yourself rest, like expressing your feelings, like having the difficult conversation, even though you're tired of having it, like showing up for people even when you really don't feel like it, like getting out of bed when it feels absolutely treacherous and so hard to do. Your future self is thanking you for doing it. And even better, because those things feel so day-to-day and feel so mundane, you start to forget how they stack up over time. And I'm here to remind you that it's easy for the small things not to feel impactful or big in the moment, until you zoom out and a few years later realize how far you've come because you've been stacking up the small things. Because the small things are the big things, and they add up, don't they? And so I want to remind you that you're doing great. You are doing great. The hard thing that you are facing right now is something that you will overcome and look back on in a few years and be like, oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, or I'm doing so much better today. In the same way that you would look back on old versions of yourself 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and extend them more grace and be kinder to them. Look at decisions that old you was making and be like, well, they weren't that bad. I was just figuring it out. Things weren't as easy then. And I want you to remember that the moment you're sitting in now is a moment that you likely wished that you would get to. We forget how far we've come because we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day things. The other night, I was sitting on my couch and I decided to just like not touch my phone for an hour and light a candle, listen to music, and just write. And I haven't even given myself the space to do that in a while, if I'm being honest. And I know I talk about journaling a lot and I probably sound like a broken record, but that is the truth is I do spend a good amount of time reflecting, being one with my thoughts, writing things out in different capacities. Sometimes it's just my gratitude journal, and sometimes it's more. But this night I was like, I'm going to be intentional and just write whatever comes to mind. And I start writing, and I'm reflecting on how far I've come, because something I realized about myself over time is that I had a really negative internal monologue. Like the narrator in my voice was really hard on me, kind to others, but super hard on myself. And I would speak so poorly to myself. And then that would kind of stack. So, like, if something went wrong, I would blame myself, be upset with myself, shame myself, overthink everything. And I've worked really hard to change what that voice sounds like, to change my internal monologue. And I was writing something out, and it like dawned on me that as I was writing, I physically saw on the page the change in my mindset, the change in how I was talking to myself. Like I was writing how proud I am of me, how far I've come, even with mistakes that I've made, I've handled them with grace. I was kinder to myself. And this got me down a rabbit hole, and I'm thinking more about just like how happy I am that I've gotten to this point and how proud I am of me. And I literally started crying, which I don't think I've ever done this. Like I am not really a happy tear type of crier, but I like was experiencing so much joy in that moment for how far I've come. And like almost was like seeing the little girl in me feel embraced and feel like proud of me. And so I'm crying happy tears. And I am literally sitting there hugging myself, crying. Like I fully have my arms wrapped around me and I'm just like crying tears of joy because I was so happy looking at how far I've come with that internal monologue that I have worked so hard to fix. You don't sit there and clock each thing that you do that is making you better. But then all of a sudden you have a moment where an accumulation of those things stacks up and shows themselves to you. Your small wins stack up and present themselves to you. And you have nobody to thank but yourself. And yes, other people can support you and help you along the way, but it is you who has gotten you through it. It is you that's shown up every day. It is you that's put the effort in. It is you that's evolving. It's also you that forgets to recognize how beautiful your progress is and how well you are actually doing. If you woke up today and got out of bed, you're doing a great job. If you woke up today and you chose kindness in moments that it was difficult to, or chose kindness, period, even when it was easy to, you still chose kindness and you're doing a great job. If you woke up today and you did the hard thing, even though it was hard, even if you didn't want to, even if it was a struggle to, you still did it and you're doing great. If you woke up today and did something embarrassing and decided to just laugh it off instead of shaming yourself, you're doing a great job. If you woke up today and you simply showed up, you're doing a great job. And this is your future self telling you to be kind to yourself now, to acknowledge your hard work, and know that it doesn't have to be this big thing in order for you to celebrate yourself, in order for you to find gratitude in your life, in order for you to be happy with you. Because the future version of yourself is looking at you now saying, I wish I was kinder to you. I wish I gave you more grace. I wish I had more empathy for you. In the same way that you right now can do that for old versions of you. There's so many times that I can think of that I was in a stage of my life where I was like, I'll never get through this. Or I can't see myself getting better at this. Or I can't see this improving. Or I don't know what life is going to look like in the future. I'm not doing well enough. I'm struggling. I feel mediocre. In those moments, I wish that I could see a glimpse of me right now and how far she's come and how much she's accomplished and how happy she is and how much she's grown and how flourishing her relationships are and how her heart is. Like, I wish that I could see that not only did I make it through those things and not only did I overcome the hard things that I was dealing with at that time, but I did it better than I even imagined I would have. And so this is me reminding you now, you're doing better than you've even allowed yourself to imagine you're doing. And you should be so proud of yourself for how far you've come. And it gets better because the best experiences of your life, the best moments of your life have yet to come. And you've already had so many good moments. All that to say, while there's so much good on the horizon for you, and while I want you to relentlessly pursue your dreams and show up for yourself and be kind to yourself, because future you will thank you, I also want you to remember that present you needs that now. Needs the kindness, needs the grace, needs the empathy, needs the recognition, needs the celebration, needs the reminder of joy, needs the permission to enjoy it, needs the permission to just be. It needs to be reminded that you were doing your best. So that was almost like a message for myself. I want to go back to this episode and watch it for me in a few years. And so it just felt like the right thing to record. But I also genuinely mean that when I say that this message is for you, that you're doing a great job and you should be really proud of yourself. And that is it. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for always tuning in. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, rate the show, do all the things. It would mean the world to me. But today, give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. See you next week.